wake up. Yeah.
I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip, this, wet. Tell them run it up, no sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch, tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip, this, wet. Tell them run it up, no sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch, tell them run it up. 9 out of 10 roll through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turned to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number one up on that court, I'm Nick McGrady. The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy.
What's up, young men?
We are back. We are back, and it is the Ebony Sports Reporters. And tonight, again, is going to be an adventure as always, because now not only do we have Coach Rob DeLoach here, we have Coach Bernard Brown here, Coach Julius Hall, but then also tonight is my brother, Dr. Robert Bryant, and I'm too frightened right now. And then coming in, Ben Troupe coming in right now. So I'm a little scared. To everyone who's looking at the show, I am not responsible for what goes on tonight. I try my best to try to curtail some of this, but again, my brother, Robert Bryant, Dr. Robert Bryant is here. Y'all already know how Coach Brown is, Coach Hall, and Coach DeLoach. So we got Ben Troupe. We're going to go to Ben Troupe first. Brother Ben Troupe, glad to have you here. So I'm going to ask you this question right now. I'm going to ask you this question. So Ben Troupe, who are you?
Who am I? Wow. Man, just a country boy, man. Big city dreams. Not afraid to be myself all the time. Just understanding that I've been given a very, very unique life. And I think most of the time people think I think they think that comes with a lot of maintenance, but it don't. I mean, I'm still the same me, man. I just think I got a little bit more like sauce in my life, man. I'm just here to be for these young people what I needed. I mean, I enjoy what I do every day, but in a sense, Coach Rob will tell you, man, I'm a disruptor. I ain't trying to go to jail. I ain't saying that. But if it take that, because I think sometimes people need to know that I'm on the same team as them. We don't got to have the same last name. We don't got to have share a similar lifestyle. I'm just here to lend myself to people, man, because I know I've been able to do things that most people won't. And I'm just trying to be able to lend myself, man. Just have some fun while I'm doing it and let people know, man, I ain't afraid to lose. I ain't afraid to be laughed at, talked about, ridiculed. That stuff don't do nothing for me. As my daddy say, man, first through the fifth. If I don't see you first through the fifth, you don't do nothing for my household, no way. So I might as well just lend myself, man. So Julius will tell you, Coach Rob will tell you, I'm just enjoying this journey, man, enjoying this ride while I can.
So my brother, who inspired you or who inspires you?
Who inspires me? I had 5 grandparents at one time. I had a great grandmother, 2 grandmothers, and 2 grandfathers. All of them are passed away now, but I got to get the game. Older people, I want to call them old. Older people, they don't know how to speak little kids. They just give you the game. And obviously my dad is one of the best inspirations I have. I mean, I know about Ricefield, Georgia, Springfield, Georgia, Waycross, Georgia, Augusta, Georgia, and Swainsboro, Georgia, because they got prisons there. So I came up in the prison system with my pops, and I thought that was my destiny too. I thought everybody's dad went to jail. That's what my dad was. And then, and obviously my mom being a God-fearing woman, man. I mean, I got 2 great parents. I got an incredible family. And I'm inspired by the person that I don't know that I know need me. I mean, as great as my parents was, it was a lot of people not named them that helped me throughout my life. They was like integral in my life. So I just know there's somebody out there that need me. I just want to be ready when I meet that person. That way they won't understand while I'm doing it, and I won't understand why I'm doing it either.
All right. And wonderful, brother. That's what it's about. So now, brother Ben, I'm going to ask you this question. This is an important question right here. This question right here. I need you to get it correct. I need you to get it correct. I need you to get it correct. I have to ask this question because, again, since you're a disruptor, and it's about keeping it together and being real. Because that's why I take from you that you're a real brother. You keep it real. You're honest. So I need to ask you the question. What is the best high school in Savannah, Chatham County, Georgia? What is the best high school? Please get it right.
What's the best high school in Savannah?
The one in the playoffs.
The best high school in Savannah, Chatham County, Georgia. Please get it right, Ben Troupe. That's why you on the show.
No, hold on. Listen. Number one, man. Number one. Okay.
You already started out wrong. Oh my God. Go ahead.
Hold on. Number one. Okay, I'm from Swainsboro, Georgia. I went to high school in Augusta, Georgia. Look, I mean, I know them boys out there at beach get it done.
That's it. That's all you gotta say. Nothing else you can say.
You fail.
Yes. Nothing else you can say.
But they ain't get it done this year.
Hey, listen. I can tell you this.
Over.
I can tell you this. Listen. I know them boys at beach get it done. I know them boys at Jenkins get it done.
All right.
I don't know where they get it done at.
I got unfrozen. I was frozen. Yeah.
Hey, y'all are wild, man. But my nephew was on the outskirts. He go to Richmond Hill, so I'm gonna be rocking with him for the next 3 years.
Move.
He'll wildcat. No, we will give honor today. We have to give honor.
All right, there you go. Go ahead, put it on, Teray. Put it on. We know you've been wanting to wear that night shirt. Go ahead, put it on.
I got what a fact. I'm a part of the
Hey,
fact.
come on now.
Coach Rob and Coach Sam. I gotta see Coach Sam in the morning, so I got to do the right thing. You know.
Nah, you want to put on that green and white. We know it.
So this is what we're going to Brother Ben. Brother Ben, you had a program this weekend, and in fact, that's a part of one thing we're going to be talking about one of our topics tonight. So, what was the program that you had this weekend?
It was called Money Matters. It was part of a four-part series with the men's symposium, and just talking to young men and grown men about the importance of money. Obviously, when we was growing up, wasn't nobody talking about wealth management. Wasn't nobody talking about wealth. Period. It was about we trying to take the conversation of just having good jobs and taking care of your family to I broke it down to if something happened to you right now, what happened to the people you leave behind? Like what happened to them? So we was talking about IRAs, we were talking about 401ks, we were talking about making sure that, man, I said, look, we all got plenty of things like cars, clothes, closets full of stuff. What happens to your loved ones if something happened to you? I mean, the former president on my board name was Sean Nobles. He was 37 years old and he dropped dead. Nothing was wrong with him. That happened about a week ago. And his family been devastated. So I was like, we got to get past mama died, so we got to sell chicken plates and fish plate. That stuff ain't gonna work, man. We can't be walking around hoping nothing bad happens. So it was good though, man. I think the kids was real receptive to it. It wasn't color centric up in there. We had all walks of life, white, black, young, old, middle. We had all of them. Coach Rob was in the building, man. We just where I'm from in Swainsboro, man, we don't get opportunities like that. We hear about it, see about it on TV. We trying to bring some of this wisdom back to the country, man. I think it was a good event.
Great. So you got anything else on the horizon with regards to that?
I'm trying to bring the show on the road, man. I told Coach Rob, man, I'm trying to do it in Savannah as well. I'm trying to make it so that everywhere I live at, Savannah, Georgia, Swainsboro, Georgia, Augusta, Georgia, I'm trying to make sure everything I do, they benefit from it. So from Savannah State to East Georgia to Augusta State, we trying to do it because I've lived in all those places, or I've had dinners in those places, and I'm trying to be able. Savannah State is a travesty, man. The fact that they don't. I mean, since they went from D1 to D2, no nothing. Like literally, and Opio is a great dude, man. The athletic director, but I'm just trying to lend myself, man. I know it's things that I can do that other people can't because of who people think I am. But I put me and everybody on this call. I got future mayors on here with Julius Hall. I mean, I got the mayor of Savannah, Coach Rob. They can't stop me, man. They don't know who I know. They don't know who know me.
Come on now.
All right. So I'm gonna say this right here, and see, I'm gonna say that Debbie Walker Williams. See,
We interviewing Ben right now. I'm gonna get you about Augusta. I done threw up Windsor Forest right now.
There you go. That's all we want to see.
Dandy, everybody talking about I'm ignoring that. I'm not ignoring Dandy. We're gonna give mad respect to West Side Augusta for winning the 2A championship.
No. We're not gonna give that to West Side because they beat Butler High School and that's my high school. I went to Butler, so we're not giving love to West Side. I went to Butler. We're not giving love to them.
So all right, rewind. Okay, we're gonna move on. So, but again, we Windsor Forest, so we give love to everybody. I told y'all, but now, so Debbie and Ken, I need to get a T-shirt, a jersey, something from West Side. Hey, brother Ben, can I get a Butler jersey? But we're gonna move on to this. This is the first topic. This topic is pertinent to Coach Rob and also Ben, and so all of you right here. The topic is mamas and daddies. Don't let your sons and daughters grow up just to be an athlete and not a man or a woman. Coach Rob, you want to take that first?
Yeah, we kind of talked about it, Ben, on my way up to your seminar the other day, and I was telling Brother Brown and Coach Dr. Jamal that the information is out there for those who want it. And the hour and 15-minute ride from Savannah to Swainsboro, I rode by myself. And I had parents that wanted me to bring their children to the event, whereas they needed to be bringing their, they should have been following behind me to learn the knowledge that you guys were giving. I know what you were talking about. I'm 53 years old. But, these parents, had it been a football camp, they would have drove 4, 6, 8 hours, to sit out in the sun with no college coaches there. But yet, when you're trying to drop knowledge on them, they don't see the importance of that. So part of that is, I was telling on another podcast that if I was a young person, I wouldn't even play sports. I would learn the financial game and represent some of these dummies and get my 10, 20% off of 3 or 4 athletes, and I'm good because, Ben, that career is short. Most guys don't get a second contract. And if they don't know how to manage their money, then they right back in the workforce talking about what they did 2 or 3 years ago. So we're going to keep that platform that Ben is trying to get here in Savannah. And I know what the team that we assemble here just tonight, it's going to grow, 10 times. Because we're going to push it till they can't say no. We're going to go and knock on doors like Jehovah's Witnesses if that's what it takes, to get people in the building.
Listen here, I have family members at Jehovah's Witnesses now.
You had family members, but you wasn't one of them. You wasn't one of them family members, though.
Ben, listen here. Ben, let me tell you, this is the deal. All right, got to deal with Coach Hall, Coach Brown, and Coach DeLoach, and then my brother Rob Brown. I sometimes, because he get caught with them, I don't need you too. See, I already talked about that. Let me move on. Coach Brown, what you got to say about that, Coach Brown?
I'm like this. What me and Coach were talking the other night, and you too, Jamal. These parents want the cake when it's done, but they don't want to get in the oven and bake it. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is this. We as coaches, we put our heart and soul in these kids, you know what I'm saying? And we their parents, we their brothers, we did everything. And then you got some parents, they drop the kid off and they going on about their way, you know what I'm saying? And when we was growing up, it was okay then, you know what I'm saying? Because, hey, you had parents working and couldn't do the things that they was supposed to do. So we took as coaches, we took it as, hey, that's our responsibility. But now, it's like, hey, the parents, they got a job, they got cars, they got everything. And like Coach said, they need to focus on the financial part. All they focus on is this: if they kid gonna make it. You know how many jobs in the NBA? 372 jobs. Are your kid gonna be one of those 372?
Probably not.
Probably not. You know what I'm saying? And then in football, you got 52 players on the first team, and then you got the second, third team. Are you one of those 52 players on the first team?
Probably not.
Okay. Then you got baseball. They got what, 30 players on the baseball team, the first team. Okay. Then are you gonna be that? Then they got the minor league. Okay, we can go on and on and on. Your kid is one of those kids. If your kids, you feel like those kids is not one of those kids, then those kids need to get them an education. You know, and they need to focus on education and how they can get in school on academic and not being an athlete. But some of them make it. Don't get me wrong now. Some of them do make it. We know some that made it in and it's good. But the parents now, when I was coaching, I tell the parents this here. This is my team. And if y'all got anything to say, you and your kids can go out the door. And I do that speech before the season starts. And I don't have to do it no more. And I give them 24 hours. Don't talk to me for 24 hours. If I win or lose, don't talk to me because I'm already thinking about something else. So if you call and say, well, my kid didn't play only 5 minutes. Well, ask your kid why he ain't played 5 minutes. You go to practice? He ain't give me number 5 minutes of practice, so he ain't get number 5 minutes of the game.
That's right.
Period. You know, not being mean, but I did this for 25 years and I'm gonna stick with it. And right now I got out. The one of the reasons why I got out because, you know, parents, AAU and all that, I just couldn't deal with all that. And right now the game is like some water to me. You know what I'm saying? It's no fundamental, nothing whatsoever.
Who you want next?
So Robert Bryant.
Hey, I want you to first put that T-shirt on. Let's start there. You're gonna learn to respect your elders, Jenkins High School. But anyway,
So
I think what has been said is right. We got a kid that's a young man. His mom and I grew up together in the church, and it goes along with what Bernard said. With you got so many slots, and what I've seen young people do, and I work with college students every day, is Bernard talks about the parents, but the young people don't want to put the work in. You ain't gonna just wake up one day and be the next Kobe or the next Michael Jordan.
Right.
Case in example, this generation, I ain't generalizing, but what I've noticed is they want to blame the other person. Well, I'll give you a great example. I had a kid right there in Savannah. I said, okay, you want to go D1 football. I said, let me be very clear with you. I never played D1 football. I never coached D1 football, but I can tell you this here. You better be taking every moment of your time outside of school, finding you a coach that's going to coach you and working every day. If you want to go D1, you might as well say you want to prepare like you're going to the NFL. So every moment you are out of school, you better be working with somebody to better your skill. Because if you're not going D1. You're not even going to go D2. You're probably not going to go D3. So it takes work. And when you're not willing to put in that work, you can't get mad at the next person.
Right.
Because you understand, it's like this here. We all understand what it takes to get what we want, right? If I want to go out here and buy me a Tesla, I know what that means. I know what the work that it takes. I know what kind of system it makes. I know what I got to save up. If I don't do it, I ain't going to get it. So if you don't want to put in the work, young folk, don't go looking at mom and daddy. If you want something bad enough, you're going to put the work in. If you're not going to put the work in, it ain't going to happen. And so you can't expect you're going to wake up one day and it's just going to fall in your lap. That ain't how it works.
All right. Coach Julius Hall.
Well, I'm going to be real short because we got some long lessons tonight.
No, it's a round robin, baby. That's what this is. We had Coach Rob. Now, let me I'm going to throw it out there. Coach Rob had told me, he said that his contract says he's paid per game. Per game he gets paid. And he get cash money. Under the table cash money in his contract. He said he ain't got a contract. He get paid cash each session he's on. So I'm just throwing out there for Coach Rob.
Well, my thoughts on that is that when you have a child, you don't have the child thinking that, well, he's going to the NBA or the NFL or Major League Baseball. You have that child thinking that you're going to get him an education and teach him the skills necessary so he can survive. And so that's what the parent needs to always think. If the child blossoms into a great athlete, then fine. But the parent needs to first focus on that child just getting his or her education.
All right. And Brother Ben, you got the last word on it. What's your thoughts?
Man, I think what happens when it comes to these kids, man, is they see a lot of things that that make them think something different. I go to something Coach Robin said. Look at the genetics of their parents first. Like, just look at them. That's gonna have a lot to do with it. My mom is 5'8", my dad is 6'2". I'm 6'4", 6'4.5", 6'5". So I'm benefiting from them. Then you got to ask yourself, if the only person called you special is your mom and daddy, and nobody else do it, that's what they're supposed to do. Like, my mama's supposed to think I'm special, but at the same time, put me where the Lions at. If I'm that dude, put me out there with them. Like, the best thing to do is put them in the camp and do not put no names on the back. I said, because talent gonna rise to the top. Mm-hmm. And that's what I had to realize is I went to a camp at the University of Georgia. I didn't say nothing, but I was like, ooh, because it was crazy to me. And that's with anything, right? That's with anything. You a singer? Go to American Idol then. If you can sing, if you can dance, and it's the same thing. If you the best in Savannah, that's cool. Go to Augusta, go to Atlanta, go to Jacksonville, so you can see it. And I'm gonna say, look, I don't care what your mom and daddy say out there on that field, it don't lie, man. That court don't lie.
Yeah.
So I just think that that's the best way to go about it, because it doesn't matter what you say to no parent, man. They can't separate the athlete from their child. They can't separate it.
Right.
I got two daughters and a son. They know. I said, listen, I'm gonna love you regardless. But if you got your behind toe up, you got toe up. And it ain't no shame in that. So I just think that put them somewhere where the elite are and watch. Because after that, they don't got to say nothing. I'm going to say, did you tell your mama what happened? Nope, you don't got to, because we're going to send it the tape. We're going to send it to her. Same thing with education.
Yeah.
I tell kids all the time, all sports is a vehicle. It gets you from point A to point B with no extra fees. You can go through school, anything for free. And once you get to school, you'll see. If you think you can hoop and you 6'8", you got to go on LeBron. Yeah. That is your destiny right there. If you that good, if you that nice at football, you got to block Aaron Donald. It ain't, man. All I'm saying is, man, I wish the best for all of them. Yeah. But if somebody told you ain't but 253 slots coming out of college and it's 3,000 guys coming out, and in the NBA, it ain't even 60. If you ain't a lottery pick, you ain't gonna make the team. I said, so your son is a top 15? I said, look, man, Kwame Brown, I can't think of Dwight Howard, Anthony Edwards, 3 number 1 overall picks. Your kid ain't none of them. Your kid ain't none of those 3. And all I'm saying is, can your kid compete internationally? Because that's what, man, I just think that what happens now is, I said, if you lazy and you want to make a bunch of money in sports, you ain't gonna make it. Because I had a GM tell me, if I can't trust you when you're not around me, I can't trust you, period. And that's most kids, man. He told me that. Like, he said, I can trust you when you're not around me. Most kids, you can't trust them when they're in front of you. So I wish them the best, man. But I be telling them, y'all boys want what come with it. Y'all don't want what it take to get it. You just want what come with it. I get it. But you gonna buy your mama a house, boy, you ain't gonna be enough. You ain't gonna be able to buy your own house. And whatever house you end up, you gonna end up at mama house anyway, because it's gonna be foreclosed, because you don't understand money. You know what I'm saying? So I wish these kids nothing but the best, man. But if I live in Savannah and I ain't talking to Robert DeLoach, because he got 3 of them that did it. He got 3 that did it. One is a female. And I'm like, oh, Robert know what he's talking about. I can't deal with people like that. I can't. Basketball in 3 different sports: track, basketball, and football. Florida State, Ohio State, and VCU. Talk to the ones that's done it. Hey, Rob, Coach Rob, what'd you do? How did you do it? I mean, if I got somebody that did it, I don't get that part, man. I don't know why people want. I say your son got on $200 sneakers. He got on $150 jeans. He got on a $200 shirt, and he fell in English. That don't go together. that don't make no sense. You want to make your son look like something. That's what parents don't like me, man. Because I tell them, I said I have 5 grandparents. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Your son, he I don't know who he is, but he I ain't looking for he
Right.
I'm cool. I said, look, your kid still got a bad attitude, and he want to play. That still happens in 2022.
Yeah.
Man, get out of here. I have to ask your kid to do everything. And when your kid do what he's supposed to do, he say, hey, coach, you know I got the practice on time. You're supposed to get the practice on time. That's the standard. That's normal. That's normal.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
All right. So now we're going to ask this question. What's up with AAU basketball in Savannah, Georgia, Chatham County, Georgia? Coach Bernard Brown, we're going to go to you on that.
Hey, you know what? I was kind of a little upset, right? But I had, my girlfriend Shorty and my daughter Brandy calm me down after I talked to you, Jamal. So I want to say this. Let me tell them something right now. I was there to help. I was there to help because I see all these kids come from different places, and some who come from Savannah have to leave Savannah to go other places to make it. And I done seen the best of the best, all of them, from Zion to everybody. I done seen them. They have to come through me at Swanee to even get where they going at, right? So I was like, hey, if you got one gym and you got 11 teams, don't you think you may need another gym? So I was just like, volunteer, hey, I can make some phone calls and, maybe we can get another gym to help what's going on. If you got 11 teams and you got 2 girls teams, somebody gonna get short. So I said what I had to say. I didn't like the response because it was more like butt out. Okay, butt out. That's basically what it butt out. I said, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do this here. I wasn't coming to start an AAU team in Savannah. I was coming to say Hoop Savannah have games going on at the Civic Center. Instead of them going to Jacksonville and Florida and North Carolina and all that, bring them here in Savannah and have these big tournaments so they don't have to travel. Now I done got so pissed, I'm coming with Hoop Scene Savannah, my AAU team, and then I'm going to go from there, and then we'll see what happens, okay? And if you don't want my help, then I can compete against you. Because all I have to do is make phone calls. I don't have to, go around and make speeches and collect this and collect that. All I'm saying is this. And y'all know how parents is. Y'all know when people come in your backyard, they're thinking they're coming to steal your money. That's the first thing they're thinking of, instead of saying, you know what? He might can help us now. But at the end of the day, I did what I had to do. So now it is what it is, and that's how black folks is. Black folks always thinking somebody coming to take something from them. We're coming to help. Coach Ben coming to help. Coach Rob coming to help. Jamal, Jules, we coming to help our black community, not hurt them. So why you throw me out the door like I'm coming to take over? Come on now.
All right. And you heard it here. You heard it here on Ebony Sports Reporters. Like I said, last time we discussed is ahead of everybody else on the curve. So Bernard Brown has said what he said. So that's right. The word is out there. So Julius Hall, what's your thoughts with regards to that?
What was the subject?
See that he the god doggone producer. Anyway, we're gonna move on. Coach Rob, what's your thoughts on that? Ben, what's your thoughts on that, Coach Rob?
I'm with Coach Brown, man. But I'm with you this way. Do it anyway, because Savannah needed bad, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the thing is, we just got to make ourselves unavoidable. Like somebody go, because what happens is, they're gonna show up regardless, right? They're gonna show up and they're gonna say, Coach Brown, man, why y'all doing that at the gym? Because you went over to the door, it's your gym, right? And we need to we are south of Atlanta, so we need to reestablish. We are south of Macon. We need to reestablish. Hey man, you got basketball down here too. Like y'all, of course, y'all want us to come to Atlanta and Jacksonville. Then get y'all behind down I-16 or come up 95 North and come to Savannah. We got hotels and infrastructure, because let's face it, these parents, anything outside these city limits, they're gonna use. Oh, we can't even go because you can't go. You can't even go. Y'all shopping Pooler. You can't go. You see what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is, it's established in Savannah in a way to where this part of Georgia needs to be respected. Football, basketball, athletics, because they'll come down here and recruit, but they won't come down here to showcase. And I think that's what. Because you know how I know? Because that's what they did in Augusta where I was at. They don't do it up there either. The CSRA. So I think it's about establishing. And look, really, all we need is CSRA, Savannah, and some small little rural towns, and you won't need nobody else to the point we don't invite y'all no more. Like we only, I mean, Swainsboro 2 years ago won it all in their region. They got twins that go to NC State. So you got enough people in this area, and I'd rather deal with the parents I'm used to dealing with. I can't add no new parents. I can't even deal with the ones I got. So let me just deal with the ones that talk trash, but at least I know them because we got to do it for us, man. And because as my granddaddy would say, son, he'll say, if it don't come from us, it's gonna be hard to trust. And I believe that.
Yeah.
If it don't come from right here, because Coach Brown, Coach Rob, y'all know. If somebody from out of town come in, y'all can blame. I don't know that dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then all his players get looks, and our players be like, Coach, what's we get first dibs. It's our house, it's our ball. Let's throw it up and let's go. So I think that, and I'm looking forward to being a part of that because I don't like this. Oh well, don't nobody in Savannah don't want to do nothing. That is a lie, man. Y'all, we can't get no collaboration.
Right.
People want to do and tell the parents just because your son ain't the best, that's why you ain't showing up. He can still play. He just ain't the star. Everybody can't be the star.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to that, man, because I just think of the same old. Don't nobody want to do nothing. I said, yeah, you talking about you because we was there.
Yeah.
We was there the whole time. So we gonna do it though, man. Like Savannah State might be a hub, man, because like I said, they don't do nothing at that school. And Coach Opio, AD, he's really, really good at being supportive, man. So that might be another outlet as well. Plus, it brings exposure to that campus as well.
All right. Coach Rob. Now, I share this with y'all. Coach Rob signed JJ. He went to Jenkins, then he went to Berkmar. That's what happened. So, Coach Rob, you got the floor right now. Go ahead, Coach Rob. Don't say anything about what I just said. Just go ahead and say what you know about the subject matter topic.
Well, if you know me, I ain't gonna let you get away with that. So don't even try that. You know, and Ben don't know you went to Savannah Christian. Let's be clear. Take the mask off. You went to Savannah Christian, but we're gonna move forward. My thing on AAU basketball, just me. It used to be an exclusive club of elite athletes, but now it's become a money grab, and anybody can start up a so-called AAU team, and it is taken away from the game of basketball. And I'll use Bernard's gym for example of their hoop scenes. When the Atlanta Celtics played Honcho, it was the most watched AAU game on live stream that it actually crashed the set.
Yep.
Because we were playing on court 7. And the Celtics had Jabari Davis, who was the freshman of the year that's playing at Auburn. They flew in J.D. Davison from Alabama. They flew in another kid from California. And they already had a stacked team just to play a bunch of independent kids.
Yeah.
So the other 6 courts plus the other side, nobody was watching that.
Right.
So if you wasn't on the main court, the coaches wasn't even watching you.
Yeah.
Because they already knew that game had the most athletic and elite athletes playing for that 1 hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So parents have to be realistic. If your son is 5'3" and you running from Savannah to Atlanta playing some AAU team, you might as well have set that money on fire. Because ain't no coach in America is looking at your 5'3" son in Atlanta. Because he's not even on the main court.
Right.
Let's just be honest. And if you go to the live period where they have the coaches can come to the AAU game, they only sitting at court 1.
Yeah.
They're not concerned about what's going on court 3 or 4. They're going to sit there. As many as they can pile around that court, they're going to sit and watch. And I don't care what your son doing down at the other end. They're not even watching that. He's not even on their radar.
Yeah.
Now, if he's 6'9", 6'10", and he's athletic, then guess what? They may slide a chair or 2 down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the big scheme of things, AAU basketball has almost ruined the game.
Yeah.
Because there's no development. There's no development. It's just basically open run basketball.
Yeah.
Who can dunk the basketball? Nobody can shoot. Nobody can dribble. Nobody know how to pass. Nobody know how to pick and roll. Nobody plays any defense. So when they get to college, you got to take all of that stuff away, that pop ball away, and try to teach them the game, and then they get frustrated.
Yeah.
Okay.
The fellows have left the game.
Yeah. Hey, Coach, you know the reason why we put that game on Coach 7 is because the 2 exit doors is on Coach 7, and we got a call that the fire marshal was coming. So we had to get him out. You know, that's how big it was. You know, that's why we put it on Coach 7, because the fire marshal was coming.
All right.
So we had to open the exit doors.
Ain't no lies being told. I was there.
Yeah, I know it.
So again, you heard it here on Ebony Sports Reporters. That we tell folks share. And again, we say shout out to Butler High School and also to Westside Augusta for winning the 2A championship. And again, Woodsville Tompkins was right there also. So again, shout out to all of them. Shout out to Windsor Forest. Support Windsor Forest with regard to what they're doing. So again, shout out. But now we're going to move on to this right here. Who is more pathetic? Pittsburgh Steelers fans or Atlanta Falcon fans? It's already a given with regards to the Cowboys. Who's more pathetic with regards to fans, again, and their teams? So, Julius Hall, I'll start with you.
I think the Dallas Cowboy fans are the most pathetic. I'm not going to even go to Pittsburgh and Atlanta. Atlanta fans are second, a close second. They get on my darn nerves. They do. Atlanta fans, you got a losing team. You're not required of the owners to do nothing with this team. You're not trying to get rid of Matty Iceberg. You're not trying to get rid of you got rid of the best receiver in the game, Julio. You know, so I don't know. I can't even explain it. But the Dallas Cowboy fans are the most pathetic on the earth. They be around here in the mall with the draws, Dallas Cowboys, showing the stars. They be with their pants half down, the belt, the buckle, the tennis shoes, the strings in the tennis shoes, even cowboy. My sister even got a cowboy printed over her car. Dallas Cowboys, they pathetic.
Okay, we now move on to Coach Bernard Brown.
Hey, you know what? I'm not going on a serious note. I'm not going to talk about the Atlanta Falcon fan, is because their fan bases all of them look like us. All of them look like us. So Atlanta Falcon is supported by all of them look like us. That's why the owner know, hey, he got to please us. You know what I'm saying? That's why we got a hookah bar in the stadium, you know, because he trying to please us. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't going to talk about them. Pittsburgh fan, you know, they like Jules said, like the Dallas Cowboy fan, you know, but one thing about it, you got to know this too. If you go to any Pittsburgh games whether it's in Dallas, Philadelphia, New York, or whatever, it's more Pittsburgh fans than the people who in that stadium. So they support them. And Dallas Cowboy Drew, I agree with Drew with Dallas Cowboys, so I ain't gonna say anything too much about Pittsburgh and Atlanta Falcon fan. But I know who's pathetic though. Jenkins High School fans, pretty much, you know. Jenkins High School fans, you know.
That's a good one. Touchdown.
I'm sorry.
This is why God don't like y'all right now. Coach Deloach, we're going to come to you. Who's more pathetic, Coach Deloach?
Well, I'm a Cowboy fan, and I know we're the most pathetic fans there are in the country. So ain't no need to discuss that. We are the worst fan base in the NFL. Period. And guess what? We're going to be even worse now that Jerry got a baby that done came out.
Jerry got a baby? Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
We selling more jerseys. We selling baby Cowboy gear now.
Hey,
Jerry Jones got a baby?
Well, she came out, you know. How old is she? About 20-something years old?
Yeah, she got it from the Boo Boo Club. You got for the Boo Boo Club.
Yeah, they signed a confidentiality agreement like 25 years ago, and the child is grown now. She wants to be known. She's actually suing it.
Whew, boy. Hey, they should have did what Michael Jordan and Magic, all of them did, man. You just, I don't know, man.
We the pathetic. We the worst fans in the game, no doubt.
Okay.
Damn, Jerry.
Okay. The Steelers are coming. The Steelers folks are saying, watch your mouth. I'm just sharing. So we're going to move on to the New Testament right now. The New Testament. And Judas K, a.k.a. Mike Krzyzewski at Duke. Is Judas K real about his hypocrisy? Coach DeLoach.
Damn, Duke. I'm glad that they got beat, and I hope they continue to get beat. Just the name Duke alone is enough for me.
Yeah.
There's nothing I like about Duke. None of their players are successful in the NBA. I'm glad he's gone, and I hope North Carolina continue to beat their ass every time they get a chance.
Okay.
Coach Bernard Brown. What about Judas K? Oh,
Hey.
Are you finished, Coach DeLoach?
Yes, sir. No need to speak on that foolishness.
Hey,
Coach Brown.
you know what? I'm gonna piggyback off what Coach Ross say. I don't like Duke. I don't watch Duke. I hope they go 0-800. They fans. Duke itself is like you say, every Duke player that went pro, whatever, they last about 2.5 years. Only one lasted long was Grant Hill, and then he got hurt. So next subject. Mike, I'm glad he's going.
Julius Hall got the flow. Julius Hall.
Go ahead, Julius.
Y'all are absolutely right. I haven't liked them since Christian Laettner.
Exactly.
But the coach has always been hypocritical. This guy, he's always been hypocritical.
Yeah.
You can see it in the way that he coached. He's a good coach. He gets the most out of his players, but he's not real with his sense of equality, I don't think. And I've never liked him because I was always a North Carolina fan, and I used to like Georgia Tech back in the day. Georgia Tech was my team back when Bosch and all of them went there. So, the coach is a hypocrite. He's a real hypocrite, and we just got to hold him accountable for that. He's gone now. He didn't do what he was supposed to do to let somebody take his place. Y'all see what he did. So, yes, he's a big hypocrite. He should move to Fort Wentworth.
And absolutely, because what he went and said, one of the things that people don't like to talk about him is that he's also a bad loser.
Yeah,
he's a bad loser, and that the times that he has gone after student reporters, he's going after other student athletes when he hasn't liked it when they have lost. And in addition, he went and said recently, but he just said this past weekend that he's just looking forward to the new regime coming in and that he's not going to have anything to do with it. I'm like, that is absolutely false, because he's the reason why Tommy Amaker is not there.
Right.
And then they wanted him. That's why I'm like, Judas filled with hypocrisy. So we're going to move on to another part of the New Testament. And this is, can LeBron, resurrect the Lakers? Can LeBron resurrect the Lakers? Coach Rob already shaking his head. No, I was going to start with him, but okay, I'm moving to Julius Hall. Can LeBron resurrect the Lakers? Because I already see the sentiments right there.
Isn't the Lakers your team?
Yeah.
Okay, hell no. He cannot resurrect the Lakers. The Lakers, y'all just as pathetic. Y'all the most pathetic basketball team there is. The Cowboys the most pathetic football team, and the Yankees the most pathetic baseball team. So no, LeBron can't resurrect them. He probably can, Jamal. I'm gonna take that back when he become the darn coach of them.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm too afraid right now to even go The Bernard Brown. Oh my God, Bernard Brown, Coach Bernard Brown.
Hey, well, I got a phone call from the owner of the Lakers, and she said she was in contact with Phil Jackson, her ex-boyfriend, the whole season. And Phil said what he's gonna do is come out of retirement next year and coach this team. So that's what's going on. They're trying to get the contract right so Hippie Phil can go and coach the Lakers. But right now, I think LeBron need to go ahead and go to that Catholic school where his son at and play with him. That's the only championship they gonna get. Period. Lakers done. They done. They haven't when they got rid of Magic Johnson. When they got rid of Magic Johnson for Pranko or whatever his name is, because it was Kobe agent or whatever. That's when they start having problems. Because if it wasn't for LeBron, if it wasn't for the Magic, LeBron would have never been in the Lakers uniform. And that's when it all started. And I get an asterisk when they won that championship during the pandemic. Man, whatever. They might have don't even put that flag up there. Period.
Okay, Coach Rob, we now come to you.
No. LeBron cannot resurrect the Lakers. Nor does LeBron need to resurrect the Lakers. The Lakers have won championships before LeBron got there. And the Lakers will win championships again when LeBron leaves. Mm-hmm. LeBron is like most great athletes. If you're smart and you're marketable, you head to LA.
Yeah.
Because at the end, when you decide to retire, that's the biggest market, unless you're going to New York.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just playing the game, and he's happen to be having some fun. He's already won a championship with the Lakers. So he don't have anything else to prove. He can't resurrect them. But every great sports organization goes through a lull. And we want to see something different because if in our age now, we watch the Celtics and the Lakers play every year the championship.
Yeah.
From the 80s to the 90s. And until Detroit, Bird and Magic got old, is when Detroit snuck in there for a little while. And then, it just happens.
Yeah.
But, all good things must come to an end and everybody can't stay on top forever.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we'll then move on. We'll not leave out the scripture because we have to try to save the souls of the people on this show right here because some of them go astray. The sheep go astray. And that's why you got to try to have the shepherd right around to try to guide them back. So now we're going to go on to the worldly stuff. And I'm too afraid about the worldly stuff right now. So we're going to move on to this one, worldly matter right here. NIL, name, image, and likeness. Some athletes are able to cash in and some are not. And you even have some programs overall, some departments overall. What's your thoughts on that, Coach Bernard Brown? Name, image, and likeness.
Repeat that, what you say now?
What's your thoughts on name, image, and likeness? Because there are some athletes who are cashing in, and some they saying that some are not able to cash in. But you also have athletic programs. Some of them university athletic programs. Some of them are cashing all together. With regard to what's your thoughts with regard to that? Since the NCAA has now allowed name, image, and likeness that young athletes, scholar athletes can now go and at least acquire some funds based on their name, image, and likeness.
Yeah. You know what? The NCAA is full of what? Okay? It's like that should have been done happen. These kids, don't put so much money in the university, period. Duke, North Carolina, Michigan, Georgia Tech, all these colleges, you done use these kids. Now all of a sudden, it's the kids, even though it's against, NCAA or whatever to do what they used to do back then. Now they're doing it now. I think if every kid they should pay every kid some money so they don't have to worry about not having no food to eat, not having no shoes to wear, especially black kids. You know what I'm saying? It's time to go ahead and treat these people right at the end of the day. Like I said in the show before, in 2024, if you're in the top 15 player in college, you can go leave high school and go straight to the pros if you gonna be drafted in the top 15. And if not, you come back and get an education. But the NCAA, they doing the rules because you know why? Because you got the little young fella left. He's the youngest player in the G League. Now everybody's coming over there. You got the G League, you got overseas. So what it is, the NCAA trying to stop all that. So now they're saying, okay, let's go ahead and pay these kids so they can come to our university and not go overseas and not go to the G League and anything like that.
All right, Julius Hall, what's your thoughts on that?
Do you really want to hear my thoughts? This is what I think. This is what I think. If you're going to pay the college athletes, which I think that they should be all paid, so you won't have to go through this. You should be that player, whatever he's getting paid while he's in college. There should be a certain percentage of it since he's in college, and that was his opportunity to make this money. There should be 20% of it should go to his teammates on whatever team that he's on. If he's on the basketball team, then 20% of what he's making needs to go and be split between the players. He's like the employee because he can't make it without the other players. He can't play by himself. So I think that it should be some profit sharing and some type of profit sharing so that the other players can get money also or be okay. 20%. That's my thought on it.
All right. Coach Rob DeLoach.
It's funny that you bring this up because there's a kid on my son's football team that is actually was being quoted that he's holding out because he hasn't received an NIL deal in college. He's not showing up to practice.
Okay.
Now, I'll say this. If my son called me and said, Daddy, I'm not going to practice for no NIL deal, his NIL deal would be with Rawhide. And a boot company. Because there's no way on God's green earth that you're going to tell me, son, that you're not going to practice where they're giving you an athletic scholarship, opportunity to graduate college, and you're not showing the price for a couple of $1,000. Man, have you lost your damn mind? Because you'll be an NIL deal with a U-Haul because you'll be moving up out of there.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of this, one of the reasons we chose Florida State, previous to their letting go Coach Taggart, was he talked about set these kids up for life after the game. Because he understood as an African-American coach that most of these kids, this is going to be it for them. And most of them graduate and they don't have anything other than a piece of paper. So, his message was he needed to figure out how we can meet those people that make the decisions and how playing on the field that they would invest in them. And hopefully when they left college, they would have some money to either start a business, be able to, not go back home, be able to start some type of lifestyle. And most kids, they don't have that understanding that you're only going to do this for 4 or 5 years. And you make a couple $1,000 on an NIL deal. And then, if you don't know how to manage your money, and you know what these kids going to do, they're going to go buy some Gucci. They're going to go get some gold chains. They're going to get the hair twisted. But you take the Caucasian kids, they probably take that money and invest it in something. So the dynamics of the NIL deal is, I think it's a great idea, but it has to be managed where these kids can ultimately, when they're done with it, they'll have some money to start up some type of business.
Yeah.
All right. And so we're going to move on to another agency that will regulate sports. And this is not collegiate, but this is high school. Controversy has occurred with regards to Social Circle and also Drew Charter in the state A championship, the A state champion basketball championship, which what happened, 2 points were given to Drew Charter. And so they went into overtime at 56-56, when actually it was an error. They should not have been given the 2 points. So Social Circle, which was undefeated, they lost in overtime. So what's your thoughts on that? And I will go to Julius Hall, but I'm frightened to go to say, I'm just going to throw it out there. Coach Bernard Brown, if you've been in similar situations, what were your thoughts? Now, I need to say this right here.
GHSA has said that the rule is in place for such, and so that's why they didn't change it. Because again, and they had video evidence to show it, but they like say it wasn't there, so that's why they didn't go and change it.
Yeah, and it's like this. Whatever was in the book, whatever's in the book, you go to the book, and whatever in the book, that's what you do on the score. Whatever in the book. If the book is wrong or whatever, it okay. But you go right there to the book. And whatever the book, if the book say 56-55, it's 56-55 no matter what. Nobody shouldn't change it. The ref or anybody, nothing whatsoever. So whoever made that error was a bad error at the end of the day. Even if the people who sitting there, you got kids, what you do, you got kids is keeping the score. And you got kids is writing down in the book. So whatever that kid said or whatever, she put it in the book. And that's why they go. That's why they don't announce the game or nothing when it's over with or whatever until the ref, everybody got to sign up. Okay. And whatever the book said, that's it. They made a mistake. Whatever the book said, they should have went by the book and not, okay, that's wrong. You know what I'm saying? So whatever the book said, they should have went by the book and not what the ref or whoever said it. And that was a raw deal. That was a raw deal. And I done been in that situation before too. I mean, I've been on it with the good and the bad. And she said, what the book said. And I said, I don't care what the damn book said. I know it, but what the book said.
And that's exactly what they threw out there. That the book was also incorrect also. So Julius Hall, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, did those 2 points cause the game to go to overtime?
Yes, they were 56-56.
Mm-hmm.
Then their rules need to be changed, and that other team should have been awarded the win. But you got the parents and you got the student the student body. They always paying attention to the score and see whether the score is wrong. They didn't try to correct it because we were
correct. Yeah.
We were correct. Everybody was correct. Even the players.
They had a video. They had a video.
I'm talking about for that moment.
They had a video to show that, hey, that was incorrect. But they were like saying it's in the book.
No.
Yeah.
They got to change that. What they got to do is say, okay, the book is okay, but the truth overrules the book.
Yeah.
And whoever those scorekeepers was, you need to be fired and never do another game.
Yeah.
Ever.
But there was kids. There was kids keeping the score. And
kids keeping the score for what kind of team this?
Yeah, they got the high school. They have high school kids. They have high school kids. They have they have one assistant, right? They have one assistant on one side. They have another assistant on the other side. Then they have the kid in the middle who keeping the book, and then they have the kid who running the clock. So what happened was the kid who running the clock probably was talking to the kid with the book and accidentally put the wrong score up, and that's the problem.
A kid should never be held with that type of responsibility.
It is. Yeah, that's how they do in high school. AAU, everywhere they have the kids. And what it is, each let's say me and coach, I'm playing against coach, right? And coach got to have a parent to do one of his score, and I got to have a parent to do the clock. That's but it was a mistake and caused them to
should be a paid position, and that's just how it should be paid. They got enough money in these school systems and everything to pay for it.
So, Coach Delos, what's your thoughts on that?
It's Georgia High School is just like NCAA. They suck.
I didn't hear you. What did you say?
They need to disband Georgia High School Association. I would recommend that all schools go independent where they can do what the hell they want to do. Because there's no way with all of this technology that something that simple could have been corrected. because you can run the tape of the whole game and count basket by basket the next day, and hey, it was a mistake, and then the team that won. It's just that simple. It should have never been in the overtime. Overtime was an excuse, hoping that they would have corrected it, and Social Circle could have pulled it out, but it didn't work that way. They was hoping that it would just go away because they were an undefeated team. But if the truth be told, they were wrong. They made the wrong decision, and nobody had the balls enough to step up and say, "Hey, we made a mistake," and award the team that actually won the game the state championship.
Right.
Just that simple.
Yeah.
And like Coach Julius say, at certain levels, you got to pay to have officiating across the board, because those kids at that level, there's so many distractions.
Yeah.
You know, they got cell phones, they got their partners, they got the girls, they're caught up in the game, and if they miss something, you know, and then they just hit the clock. But no, at that level of a state championship, it should be a paid position, and it should be reconciled by the end of the quarter. If there's a discrepancy, you call a timeout. That's what that official that sits at the table. Hey, we got a discrepancy.
Yeah.
Bump, bump, hit the horn. That's brought these two teams together, and let's get this cleared up so it doesn't come to this. So Georgia High School Association dropped the ball all the way around.
Yeah. And I blame the ref. Because at the end of the day, whoever the lead ref, if he signed, you got to sign that book. You got to go through the score and sign that book. If he don't sign that book, then that game is a forfeit. So,
but there's no accountability with the refs.
Yeah, but that's true. That's true, because they signed it and they getting out of there.
Because Georgia High School paid them.
You're right.
So ultimately, it's on Georgia High School Association. So if you use that logic, then those referees should never call a championship game again. That's accountability. It happens in the NFL. You make a bad call, and see what happens. What should happen is that they have the best referees at the state level for the championship from all different regions. But what they do, they only get the refs from the North Georgia area. So when our kids come from the South that play a different type of basketball, hell, we have foul trouble in the first half.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Coach. That's what they do.
That's a whole nother topic. But what I'm saying in a nutshell is that you got to have the best of the best in Macon this weekend to referee these games across the board.
Yeah. And I think, me personally, and I'm gonna let you go, Jesus, I think they need to remove the games that's playing in Macon. I think they need to remove it to something big. Either move it to Georgia Tech or move it to a bigger place. Because if you playing we've been playing at Macon forever.
Yeah, moving to Georgia, they ain't winning shit.
Oh Lord.
Hey, let me tell you what happened. It was Pebblebrook. We was playing for the state championship. We was playing Wheeler. We was playing your boy Brown, who played with the Celtics, right? And what happened was, on one of the rim was higher than the other. And so the right one was probably about 10 foot, and the left one was like 8 foot. And they didn't find out till the game was over, and then all hell broke loose. And that's why they was trying to change it from Macon, but it was too late then. You know, they Wheeler won the state championship on a 10-foot, and Pebblebrook lost on an 8-foot.
Okay. All right. Well, we move on to this right here. Odell is staying in LA. Odell Beckham staying in LA. Coach Rob, what's your thoughts on that?
That's a good move for him. He on the back end of his career. So he can stay out in LA. He just started him a family. So like I said earlier, in regards to LeBron, you know, these professional guys have great marketing opportunities out in LA. So in order to him to sustain his lifestyle and his high profile personality, it's a great move for Odell. And, you know, just sit out there and chill, collect your check, and raise your family.
All right, Coach Brown, what's your thoughts on that, Coach Brown?
Good move. I hope that boy Donald, I hope he come back. And I'm predict right now that the Rams will win. They'll win the Super Bowl again next year. Yeah, they'll win again next year. They're building something beautiful there in LA, and I really appreciate that.
Thank you very much. Julius Hall.
Well, Odell Beckham is Hollywood. He's always tried to be Hollywood. Purple
Yeah.
hair, red hair, all kind of stuff. He's Hollywood. He's in
Yeah.
the right place. They need
Yeah.
actors out there. So he might be a good actor when he get through. So he's in the right place. I love it out there. I like the Rams. I like Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah. Hey,
Now-
Jules, you forgot something, man. We Hollywood. We Hollywood, man.
That's my nickname.
We Hollywood. I'm sorry, Jesus. I'm sorry, Jesus.
And something else about Odell Beckham that some of his teammates talked about is that he provided various items, that anything that he got with regards to sponsorship or that they wanted him to sponsor, that he made sure that his teammates got the same thing. They talk about he had a truckload of mattresses come there when they wanted him to basically be a face for the mattress. That again, they were like saying, hey, they say if the benefits just don't come to him, he makes sure his teammates get a benefit with regards to this. So we're gonna move on to something else because we would kind of talk about this tonight, and because I begin to see how even more crucial it is because you have a situation that occurred last week out at Stanford University, with regards to Katie Myers, who is the goalie or was the goalie for the Stanford lady soccer team. So what happened? And she's supposed to be a stellar. She was a stellar athlete. I said supposed to be, not supposed to be. She was stellar, but she died last week, and it came out this week right here. Because when I saw it, I said to myself, they're not saying how she died. They ain't said nothing about natural causes, anything like that on last week, and they ain't said nothing about heart arrhythmia or anything like that. And I said, I'm curious. So this week it came out. It was a self-inflicted gunshot wound. So here you go, this woman, this young lady at Stanford, one of the elite universities in the United States that they look at it on the West Coast. She's a superstar. You know, she's been getting that NLI, NIL. She's been getting all of that, but then she took her life because they say it was no foul play. So Julius Hall, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, these kids are under a lot of pressure. A whole lot of pressure, so you never know what anybody is going through, especially a young person who might, it's all type of triggers, love, being in love and losing that love of your life, death of a family member, being ridiculed about missing a shot, stopping a goal, So it's all type of stuff, remember the kicker for one of the college teams killed himself, Colorado, somewhere out there, after he missed the field goal and everybody got on him and he went and killed himself. So it's a lot of pressure on these athletes, and people got to understand that we need to take care of their mental health also. We got to be more aware so that we can probably prevent something like this from happening. You got to give these kids love because their frontal lobes have not developed yet for them to become the adults to have that thinking in their heads to avoid this type of situation.
Coach DeLose, what's your thoughts with regards to that? Unfortunately, the young lady was a great athlete, great leader, played with a lot of energy. She was actually the face of Stanford's soccer program.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But like Julius has mentioned, there's not a lot of mental health facilities on these university campuses.
Mm-hmm.
And I can speak from that experience with my own child when she was at Ohio State and when she was going through some things in life. And they only had mental health awareness for the football team. And it wasn't a big deal. And the thing that she struggled with, it was the things that she needed to talk about. The person didn't look like her.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a big trust factor because here I am talking to someone that doesn't look like me, has no idea, what I'm going through. They're never ran track. They're not from the South. know anything about me, and you expect me to tell you everything that's going on in my life. But because, my wife and I, we know our child, we made a trip. and anybody know me, I would show up, and I don't need no damn invite.
Yeah.
And when you start holding these universities accountable, because what they don't want is a negative publicity when it comes to these children.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're an athlete, they will use you up and spit you out, and they go on to the next.
Mm-hmm.
But what's missing on a lot of these college campuses now with this generation of kids is the mental health, mental awareness, because nobody wants to talk about it. Everybody just want to coach, stay in their lane, and move on about their business. But I can tell you, on one visit to the University of Alabama with my son for basketball, before we could see the head coach, we had to go through a mental health awareness presentation, because that's what they offer before you even got to see the coach. And we all watch Alabama sports. It's a lot of pressure to win up there.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? Nick Saban and the university realized that we got to take care of these athletes, because it's a lot of pressure for them to win games on the field every Saturday, or in basketball or in base, because it's Alabama. And they recognize that. And I have videos of things they allow me to take pictures of, and I share it with people. This is the standard that they're set to be successful. And I wish more universities would take the mental health standpoint and invest that part in their part of their programs.
Yeah.
And we go to Coach Bernard Brown.
And I agree with everything Coach said, Rob and Coach Jewell said. I agree with it. Sorry for the young lady, but people don't realize the number one killer when it comes to young people is guns, and the second number one is suicide. We have our suicide rate for young kids have sky high, rather whatever color it is, sky high. We need to get these kids some really and truly some help, like you say, some help, especially if you're an athlete, especially if you're a woman athlete and you carrying a whole organization. And I don't know when the last time Sanford won. Last time I know when Tiger Woods was playing golf. So that's a lot of pressure. And I want to give shout out to Savannah State. When my daughter lost her mama and we transferred from LaGrange to Savannah State, and the first thing they did was, after we talked, was they sent her to therapy. Every week she would go to therapy and sit down and talk to somebody. And I truly appreciate Savannah State for doing that. And it's more pressure on girls than boys, because girls are, they very emotional, and, the grinding that they put these kids through, it's take its toll. It's take its toll, man. And then they don't have nowhere to turn. And the young lady, I pray for her and her family, and maybe, the pressure got there and it was too much. And I hope and pray that it's nothing foul play or anything like that. But like the coach and I'm saying, they need to spend more time in society about mental health, because it's really and truly, it's going to be one of the number one killer in a minute, mental health. Trust me. We all need help. I need help.
And just to throw it out there, Stanford has a successful women's soccer team, because they won national championships.
Yeah.
Last one was 2019, and they won I want to say 2017 and 2011. So when y'all talking about the pressure, so that's not to say that I know exactly what happened, but I was curious about that. When I heard she had passed, I was saying to myself, they're not saying natural cause of that. There was some heart issue. I like something coming into play, and they kept it hush up till they didn't put it out there. So we're going to move into something that I think is going to be a little controversial, but I'm trying to make it real simple. And this is our first Ebony Sports Reporters Hall of Fame for an athlete from anywhere from Beaufort County, South Carolina, down to Camden County, who should be in each y'all. I'm giving y'all one person. We're not talking about a whole litany of people right now. Because this is the initial Hall of Fame we're doing. This is our charter members this year right here. So again,
who would you go and say? Again, one person, Julius Hall. Julius Hall, Coach Julius Hall, one person. Coach Julius Hall, I'm going to again say one person. Coach Julius Hall, one person that should be a part of the Ebony Sports Reporters Hall of Fame, again, coming from Beaufort County, South Carolina, down to Camden County, Georgia.
Beaufort to Camden County.
Anyone from Beaufort County going on down to Camden, one person. We know it's a bunch because obviously we got show the love for the folks who in Beaufort County because again they watch the show and all, but they right here there because they're still all part of our metropolitan area. So I'm just saying, again, one person. You're only filibustering right now.
That person
you
is
can
going
try to
in
think about
our,
5, 10, 20 people.
Okay, that person is going in our Sports Hall of Fame. That's a good thing you got. Okay, we're gonna start putting them in there too. Okay. Coach Joe Turner. I'm gonna put a coach in.
Right. Okay, Coach Joe Turner. All right. So, Coach Deloach, who do you say?
Coach James German.
All right, James German. All right. Coach Bernard Brown, who do you say?
Coach Joe Turner.
See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about.
Coach Joe Turner.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
He probably said he already in. You gotta put somebody else in.
Thank you.
Well, I want him.
And so now I'm gonna say this right here because I know how y'all are. Because y'all may have been Troupe run off. Y'all may have been Troupe leave. You know. So
Ben say he'll be back next week. And thank you. You know he got a 9:05 show also.
So, but I'm just saying, no, he left because of y'all. Because I know, and here go Coach Deloach gonna try to be all slick. Say, Coach Brown not talking about Coach Turner. He talking about Coach Turner, the athlete Coach Turner. See, I know what's going on, but he's gonna be in there one time. So go ahead, Bernard Brown. Somebody else.
Coach Jenkins. Coach Jenkins.
All right.
Coach Jenkins. Yep.
All right. Now, which Jenkins you talking? Coach Jenks or Coach Jenkins? Lewis or what?
Coach Jenkins, who won the state championship in 19.
Coach Jenks. All right, just want to make sure. Okay, all right, so again, we got 3 of the members of the Ebony Sports Reporters Hall of Fame. And so I will say to people out there looking at the show right now, you see how they were quite prejudicial in their selections. They went to basically everybody at their high schools. They were not. See how Jamal tried to be from Beaufort County to Camden County, try to be fair about any and everybody. But you see what they did. You see how what we're gonna probably need to do. We're gonna need to take y'all votes in. To the audience, we're gonna need to probably take y'all votes in because we do have an email address for Ebony Sports Reporters. Y'all can send comments also to us. So that's what we're gonna need to do because I automatically see that with the trinity of them right there, they're gonna be biased on everybody from Beach and Tompkins gonna be in the Hall of Fame. Nobody else is gonna be allowed.
No, I know other great players.
Oh God.
Hey, but you know, listen.
Oh my God! Look at he's trying to justify it right now.
Hey,
oh my God!
We got to, man. This the Ebony Sports, you know, and the first person should get in the Hall of Fame is where we win at. Man. Come on, now, come on, be man about it.
Okay, all right. We'll move on. What's your thoughts with regards to the NFL Combine? Thoughts on the NFL Combine? Coach Deloach, what's your thoughts on the NFL Combine?
I thought it was a great opportunity for some kids to get some exposure that we probably didn't see in this part of the country. We know what Alabama and the Georgia kids are going to do. But it was some surprises of some kids I had never heard of. When you talk about a kid running a 4.23, 4.21, I mean, I've never heard of the kid, and he played at Baylor. But because we don't watch the Big 12 football, great opportunity for this kid to probably get into the first or second round, changes his lifestyle for him and his family. So, but that's only a snapshot of some of the kids in the country. Not everybody got invited to the combine, but that's not to say that those were the best kids, the young men. But like I say, some kids did well, and one thing about the combine, you have choices. Some kids went there to run the 40, and some kids went there just to showcase their skill work. And those are the options that you have at that level. But the next thing that's happened is their pro day, when they actually come back to the universities and they have to do the full body of work. And then, when they start talking to coaches and teammates and things about the character of this young man that we're about to invest millions of dollars in. They want to know. And they even go further than that. They may reach out to your high school, elementary, rec league coach and all that because they have resources before they invest that type of money. So, like I say, it was a good snapshot of what, what's coming in the NFL for next year. And I'm excited about these young millionaires that come into our world every year. Good stuff.
All right, Coach Bernard Brown. Me and one of the coaches was talking the other day, and he told me, he said they need to get rid of the compound and they need to get rid of all that. Say, I want to see what that guy gonna do when he in front of that big tackle, 270-pound, face to face, or he gonna move him, or he gonna run past that wide receiver. And he was going on and on and on. I said, well, you know what? I don't think they should get rid of, because at the end of the day, these millions, they talking about millionaires. Some of them gonna do good, some of them not. But most of the big time players, as you see, they don't go to the combine. They have their own pro day, private pro day. Like most of the Alabama, they have a private pro day because they may have a bad day, and if they have a bad day, their stock gonna drop. So most of them don't go. I mean, prime example, the guy from Houston, he went to the combine or nothing. Watson. He said he passed. A lot of them will pass. A lot of them go, but good luck.
All right. Coach Julius Hall.
Well, if it was one more round in the 1984 NBA draft, the Atlanta Hawks was taking me. But anyway, but if I was impressed with the Georgia athletes, and especially the big boy ran the 4.3 or the 4.40 or something like that. That boy was flying. He was really impressive. And the combine makes a lot of the guys say it makes them, they out there, they're measuring them and everything, and they're giving them IQ tests and everything. Now, I don't agree with IQ tests too much. Except for probably if you're giving it to a quarterback, I don't know. But I don't agree with that, because if they're grading you on that, then somebody might be smarter than you, but he's not better than you on that football field.
Right.
So I don't agree with that. But it makes it look like they are in the meat market, just saying, well, give me that slab right there and that one right there, but it is what it is. The combine is some of the athletes can show off their skill sets and get picked up and move up in the draft. So,
all right. But there was something else I had wanted to ask, but we probably won't be able to do that because I was going to ask baseball lockout. But because again, Julius Hall said certain things I threw out there that ain't cool, because I ain't gonna leave baseball alone. But I'm gonna go to this one right here, and we probably ending on the note: should athletes who were born as males be able to compete as females?
I ain't going to, man.
You the first one I'm going to, Coach Bernard Brown.
Man, let me say this. I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't touching that. I ain't touching that. I ain't gonna get myself in. I ain't touching that. I ain't know you had that question.
Your contract. Your contract. You can't avoid. That's your contract.
Hey,
that's your contract. Ebony Sports Reporter, and also with ATR. So
okay.
ATR says you can't avoid anything, especially when you're on America After Dark.
Hey, I'll try. You know what? All right. When Bruce was in the Olympic, he was already he was, like he is. So I don't think that should happen. I'm trying to keep it clean because I don't think that should happen. I think if you're a woman, you play with the woman. I think if you're a man, you play with the man. I don't think if you're a woman and a man in the morning, I don't think they should compete, because at the end of the day, if you're a woman and a man and mix up in each other, then 9 out of 10 you're gonna win, because you physically stronger. And I'm trying to put it up in a nice professional way. Jesus, throw me off that one. You throw me off that one.
All right. So we're now going to Dr. Robert Bryant. What's your
Yeah,
thought
but see,
to that?
you know, Jesus had called me because, you know, I've done this work for almost 20 years. One of the things we talked about today, being as Women's Celebration Month, uh, is talking about transgender women. And, you know, it's an interesting topic.
Yeah.
I always lean into it this way, you know, and people don't, you know, there's a spectrum when you think about trans population. You got trans folks who don't necessarily want to be the other gender, but have certain identification or pieces within them that they're just trying to identify with. But let's say, for example, you have a transgender individual. Some transgender individuals inside have the biology and the wherewithal that makes them that gender. So if I'm a female and inside of me, I really operate, feel, have the genetic components of the other gender, that's real. At the end of the day, my thing when it comes to competition is this. It's like I told my competitor when I ran for office, bring your A game. And that's with everybody. I mean, my thing is this. Pee where you want to pee, play where you want to play. If you want to beat me, bring your A game. And it's like that. I don't, you know, because I'm very careful to understand this. If you are truly identifying as the opposite gender, you truly want that identity to be recognized. We should recognize that. That's that individual's right. If you want to beat that individual, show up and compete. Don't go whine and talking about they really is a man and all that, because that's first of all that's disrespectful and incorrect. You just sorry as hell.
Hey, and that's
it's like I told my opponent. I mean, my thing is this, and if you lose, you lose. Quit being a sore loser. I mean, my thing is this. If you get beat by what you want to call as a girl, I mean, you real sorry. So don't sit up there and point somebody out for what they want to be identified as. Bring your A game.
All right. Coach Rob DeLoach.
He would save me for this topic, eh?
I'll say you, brother love. Just say you agree with me.
That's a safe answer because I'm not a professional on this, and I'm not trying to be.
Yeah.
And I'll just say this: we all play sports, and we had some guys that play like girls, and then we had some girls that play like guys. So I'll leave it there. That's fair.
Yeah.
If you can
that's good.
You can compete.
Yeah.
Take your ass whooping like a man.
Yeah.
Or woman.
Or woman.
You know, the Bernard Brown tried playing me basketball, but I defeated Bernard Brown. I'm only 5'8".
Hey.
All right.
But you know this. I'll say this. If you play women, we use women basketball for an example.
Mm-hmm.
Women's basketball is probably the most physical sport there is, because they don't have the athletic ability to play above the rim. Most of the girls, so their fundamentals have to be sound.
Yeah.
So I know when we practice against Coach Booker's girls basketball team, those girls knew how to block out. They know how to use their elbows. They know how to grab that rebound, square up, and outlet that pass. But, you know, us as men, boys at that time wanted to scrimmage the girl because it was an easy little feel on the girls back then. So, you know, but
Brown.
Those young ladies that are young ladies, they play hard. And those, you know, that have, you know, I wouldn't say that identify as other, there is a place for them at some point. And I think it happened in the Olympics where this young lady was a trans, this guy was a trans, and he ended up winning, you know, killing everybody in the Olympics, in the collegiate swimming. And it was a no-brainer.
And a tennis guy.
Yeah, so, we old school. Something we just have to accept. I'm not here to judge. You know, I don't have a heaven or hell to put anybody in. So, at that point, I just think
I like that.
Julius Hall.
Well, I think that if they get a sex change and the brain change, then let them play.
I'm not laughing at you tonight.
Boy,
I'm about to move you on your own shit.
You can change their brain. You can change their
I'm about to
brain
move you
out.
right now. I'm about to move
You
them
can change their sex out. Then let
You
them
know
play.
where I can't stand you.
And the reason why I bring that up and put that out there, because again, other shows, well, the information is out that people discuss this. And so I hear what you're saying, but not the other side. And that some people who are complaining about this are female athletes, because they're saying that there's still hormonal issues that go on to play and that there's nothing minimizing that. So they're saying, hey, there's an advantage that is right there. So it's not about saying I'm bringing my A game. They say I can bring my A game, but this person still has an advantage over us, and they still have it. So now, when you talk about NCAA, when you look at Georgia High School Sports Association, this is a topic matter that got to come up, and people going to have to look at this, because now it's not, and again, it's not just psychological. This is not physiological, and this is something that's out there. It's not as easy as some people try to project. So that's why I'm like saying, this is real content. This is what we do at Ebony Sports Report. We deal with the topic matters that other people have discussed, but they then gloss over and they move on. I'm saying, guess what? This is going to occur, and they're going to get the voice is going to get louder, and it's not necessarily say old school people. This is young people right now saying, wait a minute, this person has an advantage. But this has been Ebony Sports Reporter, because I have to say this right here. I don't care what they're going to say. I was told initially in my contract that the show was an hour, but they got
let me offer
got to be 90 minutes, and it's now 10:02, and I gotta say it's time to sign off. Share, like. Ebony Sports Reporters at gmail.com. Ebony Sports Reporter at gmail.com. Sign in, send us again some statements, other things like that, and also can be suggested for topics. So, and Coach Rob DeLoach, make sure he get paid. He get cash, so he can deposit it in that account. Cash. That's his contract.
Dollar
contract. It is now 10:03. We signing out.
Peace out, bro.
I'll see y'all next week. We'll see you tomorrow on all our shows. Y'all stay tuned. And I know Don Staley called Jamal and asked him to put that question up because that girl hit that shot on her on the end and beat on the end.
Yeah. I had something else for Don, but then because again, I ain't want to get into
y'all better wait now because they're gonna be in MLK parade. So wait till people.
Y'all, I'm not saying because Rob DeLoach already told me he can't be on for no 3 hours, and y'all trying to make the show 3 hours right now. So I'm like saying no.
The people love to see us. Hey, don't be mad.
Hey man,
but before we go, show that T-shirt one more time for them, Jamal Trey. They love to see it.
Yes, sir.
They love to see it. Come on, Lord.
Good night. Good luck to the Warriors, man. Good luck to
the Warriors ain't never gonna get no championship.
And
football, not basketball.
Congratulations to Burt Mark. And they ain't played yet.
You know what?
You already know.
Congratulations, Burt Mark.
And remember that JJ DeLoach went to Hershey B. Jenkins, then with the Bergman.
Hey, they play tomorrow at 8:30 on USA Network. I'm heading up to DC in the morning, so I'll get with y'all good brothers, man. Dr. Jamal, show them the new shirt that we featuring at the factory. Show the guys the new shirt. Tell them what it say, Doc.
That's right.
Hey.
This ain't for everybody. The fact this work ain't for everybody.
All
this
right,
work
we
ain't for
need those
everybody.
T-shirts.
Yeah.
All right, y'all be good.
All right, take care, y'all.
Good night.
like that.